Is the iPad Pro really a professional tablet? I mean, technically, it's a glorified iPad Air 2, at least from the outside looking in, with the same size, weight, and design. From the backside, you really couldn't tell you're rocking the new iPad Pro, unless, of course, you have the new rose gold color, which is specifically exclusive to the 9.7-inch iPad Pro. And that's really the only thing that differentiates the two. But if you take a closer look in that design language, you start to see what separates the iPad Air 2 from the iPad Pro. Just like its larger brother, you have 4 speakers, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. The sound quality from these is absolutely amazing and by far the best audio experience I have ever tested on any tablet. Sure, it would have been nice if they were front facing, but honestly, they're nearly perfect the way they are. No matter what position you hold this thing, you're never going to block all 4 speakers, and the sound coming out of them is immersive, giving you a simulated surround sound feeling. Providing great all-around highs, mids, and a decent amount of bass, this is definitely one thing I have to say that deserves the Pro title. The next big difference between the Pro over the Air 2 is the addition of the Smart Connector. This allows you to attach things like Apple's Smart Keyboard for more streamlined, reliable connections over the previous Bluetooth connection that was required for connecting a keyboard to your iPad prior. The connector works extremely well and provides instant responsiveness when typing, as it should. The Apple Smart Keyboard, however, is about 25 shades of booty. It's not horrible, so it doesn't deserve the full 50 shades of booty, but it's far from perfect. Having no backlighting, a cram layout, even when compared to the already small Magic Keyboard, a rubberized texture with no kind of feedback, and most of all, a hefty price tag at $150. Next up, you're going to notice the lovely lady lump on the back. So yeah, I guess the iPad Pro adapted the camera from the iPhone 6s and it had no choice but to take that protrusion as well. Go figure. Camera quality though is as you would expect, given that it's the same camera as the iPhone 6s. You even get a flash disc go around for taking inconspicuous pictures in low light with a tablet that's almost a foot long, if you're just that kind of person. However, the camera is incredibly useful for scanning or taking pictures of documents if you are a student or it's just your line of work. You even get the addition of 4K recording and it looks beautiful, and you also get 240 frames per second slow motion in 720p. Since we're on cameras, the front-facing Beauty Snapper has also been updated to 5 megapixels, or again, the same as the iPhone 6s, making it great for FaceTime chats whenever the person you're trying to call while shooting a demonstration actually answers. More so, if you're the avid selfie taker, you definitely won't be disappointed with this camera, and hey, with that 9.7-inch viewfinder, you can even use it to get ready in the morning if your mirror is being occupied. Plus, with the updated display, you're going to get more accurate colors, reduced glares, and increased brightness, so you'll be able to tell any imperfection you have going on before you leave the house for the day. It's brighter, crisper, and a bit more sharper, but still weighs in at the same resolution and PPI, so sorry for crushing your hopes of a 4K iPad. However, the colors are drastically improved thanks to the new True Tone display, which changes your display's white point value based upon your ambient lighting. Both the iPad Air 2 and iPad Pro feature anti-reflective coatings. However, the one on the iPad Pro has been drastically improved, and according to DisplayMate, the iPad Pro blocked out all but 1.7% of external lighting, meaning you can take this puppy in high-lit areas and still see. Well, at least that's according to DisplayMate and their testing. For me, the coating was good and it works great, but I couldn't tell that much of a difference between the one found on the iPad Pro versus the one on the iPad Air 2. All in all though, the display is definitely pro level, and as for the camera, well, it takes professional level photos, but taking them on a tablet kind of bumps you down from the Pro League and puts you just in a league of your own. Performance is key, right? I mean, you throw the name Pro in anything and you automatically think what? That's right, provocative, provolone cheese, probiotics, or I guess professional. Well, the iPad Pro definitely runs like a professional tablet should, being able to accomplish anything you throw at this beast. Day-to-day tasks like watching videos, emailing, web browsing, the occasional role-playing as a predator on board a ship that was recently attacked and you have been chosen to board a pod, locate the enemy, whether human, android, or alien, and destroy them. It works great. But here's the thing though, in order to get the full effect of the iPad Pro, you're going to need to cough up another $100 on the Apple Pencil. Otherwise, you should just get the iPad Air 2. I mean, performance is a little bit better on the iPad Pro, but you're not going to notice it drastically. The Pencil is the main star here, being extremely accurate and sensitive to pressure. This is what's opening avenues to digital artists, journalists, and note-taking students, and by far is what sealed the deal for me over the Surface Pro 4. Well, that and the fact that I can connect my iPad Pro to cellular service. The iPad Pro handles intense drawing sessions like a boss, even if I can't draw worth a crap. Although my zombie drawing didn't turn out too bad. I'd say it's about a 5th or 6th grader average, but at least it's not kindergarten. One thing I noticed though is the backside definitely heats up very uncomfortably. I had to readjust on several occasions with fears of melting my pecker off or shutting down the ability to ever have a chance to reproduce. This mostly occurred during artistic processes like photo editing, sketching, and long note taking. Gaming wasn't bad though, which kind of threw me off a little bit. The worst was during video editing, and yes, I said video editing. The iPad Pro surprised the bojangles out of me when it allowed me to take 4 random clips I shot for sample footage, bring them into an iMovie timeline, then retime one of those clips because it was shot in 240 frames per second, and then export that movie, which was about 2 minutes, in 4K, and it only took around 4 to 5 minutes to export the video. Pretty impressive. If you do lots of vlogs in 4K or 1080p, then you're going to love the performance of the iPad Pro as you're able to edit them in iMovie or using the Adobe Premiere app and then export and upload straight from your tablet. So what's the verdict? Well, the A9X and M9 coprocessor coupled with 2GB of RAM and the newly announced and massive option of 246GB of storage make performance and internal power of the iPad Pro, well, a pro. Software. This is where things get hairier than a 200-year-old woman who never shaved her legs once. The Surface Pro 4 is running a desktop OS titled Windows 10, while the iPad Pro is running the exact same mobile OS as the iPhone 4. Do you see the problem there? I mean, your hardware and special features are only as good as the software running them. Though I think iOS is fantastic, it's stable, simplistic, boring, and locked down, but safe and somewhat customizable, you have to have a professional OS in order to have a professional product. This is what makes the Surface Pro 4 and the Surface Book so successful, because you're able to download desktop applications and use them like Adobe's Creative Cloud. But hey, that's just food for thought, who am I? But I will tell you, if you were to throw a 12.9-inch iPad Pro at me with a dedicated GPU running OS X, you got me sold. But here's the issue, at least the issue I think is the issue. If they were to release a iPad running OS X in that kind of power, then it would cut into the sales of their MacBook and MacBook Airs, and they're just not willing to do that right now. To wrap up all of this software talk in a few easy words, well, it's simple, restricted, and incomplete. You can only get Pro apps if you download them through the App Store and their mobile versions. You have no access to any desktop applications at all. The software is what really cripples the iPad Pro from being an actual professional tablet. So to answer your question, is the iPad Pro a professional tool? Well, that depends on your needs and what you're going to use it for. For me, absolutely, because it's a piece of my workflow. It's my journal, my thesaurus, my idea sketchpad, my line of communication with my friends, and my key source to adding things to my arsenal that I really don't need to increase my office or equipment museum. For people that require more demanding hard tasks and need Adobe CC ready at their fingertips, or need an OS that is open and less restrictive for firewall testing on desktop operating systems, well, then you don't need to get the iPad Pro because you're not going to get it there. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what your humble thoughts and opinions are in the comment section below, but try not to go fanboy crazy. And make sure you like it, don't fight it, share it, don't spare it, follow, don't swallow, and of course I'll talk to you in the next one. Be easy.